I know I've been on a Divorce Diaries rant for quite a while now, but I just want to take a break to just remind you about this podcast and how I record it. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast everywhere. Seriously. On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, that's anchor.fm to get started, or download the Anchor app.
This guy is nuts. Is he really making daily recordings of his possible divorce and releasing it as a podcast? They both cheated on each other. She's making six figures and still doesn't contribute to any joint endeavors financially. Why is she still with him? Why is he still with her? I can't wait for the next episode. This helped me be a better wife. So this is how men think. I hate my husband less now. I understand my wife more now. These are some of the listener comments to the Divorce Diaries podcast. All over the map, I know. These anonymous accounts of events should resonate with anyone that has been married, is married, or is preparing for marriage, and helps couples avoid pitfalls as they might prepare for marriage. Entire seasons are released on Patreon weeks before anywhere else at Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Link in description. Now for today's episode.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning if you're listening in the morning. Good afternoon if you're listening in the afternoon. I'm recording this at night, out on a little bit of a walk. Good times today, but sobering times. We are in a place of me still wanting divorce, cleanly wanting it, desiring that, and I fully understand I understand the permanent choices that I'm going to have to make and how that's going to permanently shake up my life. And what I can say unequivocally, with everything that I have going on, the recording of these diary entries are preparing me. It's like somehow I'm able to, in a weird way, experience this divorce before it happens, and I'm able to sort of prep myself for the loneliness that I'm scared to step into. I see it as really lonely, and I know that we just as humans can sometimes erect these caricatures of what's actually going to happen. And I don't know, if you don't know what a caricature is, it's like if someone on the streets of New York City or something like that were to draw a picture of you, a caricature accentuates the features that you have. If your nose is a little bit long at the tip, they will exaggerate that feature of your nose. If your eyes are really round, they'll make them extra big and extra round. It's just a little bit extra. So with me recording these diary entries every day, I'm able to talk myself through maybe some of the potential realities I'm going to face, like the loneliness, the lack of companionship and routine. And that is really what the biggest problem is with sort of any sort of change. Like, you want to go back to school and you're not able to, but you clearly could. And it's a very simple process to going back to school. Like, you literally have to schedule out a little bit of time, either come up with the money out of your own pocket or get a loan, apply, attend, done. You're back in school. It's like 4 things, and you could probably do them all within one day. You don't have anything to do. It's that whole idea of change. And we as humans, we don't really like change. We don't want to change. It's like, well, I get up like late in the mornings and I go to work, and then I stay there and I take long lunches, and I get home late in the evening and I just want to plop down and watch reruns of Law and Order SVU. for the past 10 years. I don't really want to make a better version of myself, even though I want to just be a better version of myself. But going to go and finish and getting my degree will get me into that new position, that will get me that new money, that will get me this new stuff, and to get me this new life. And it's actually exactly what I want. But I have to change to get it. And that's a little bit scary for me to. It's weird because I'm like I said, I'm not cheating. I'm not looking to cheat. I'm not looking to bring another woman into my life. I don't know if it's primarily because I am well aware that I have a lot of self-work that I need to do on myself, or there's alone time that I need. I'm trying to think of other cliches. You got to get to know yourself. Be the best you can be. Be fine on your own. We weren't created to be alone, and I know that. That's why being with someone is better than not being with someone. Now, that path to getting with someone that is going to be better for me, I don't know if that's possible. And that's my fear talking. I know it. Because, of course, there's 330 million people in the United States. Of course, there's another person out here for me. There's many other people out here for me in the United States. And as long as I make myself vulnerable and put myself out there so I can meet people, I'm unequivocally going to meet people. And I'm going to have other relationships with other people. But the thing that is going to need to change the most is me. That's what's going to need to change. I'm going to need to become much better at maintaining the frame of my relationships. And that doesn't necessarily mean my romantic relationships. That means every relationship in my life. I've had to cut a significant amount of people out of my life because maybe there was a little bit of codependence in a relationship from me or the other person with me. I am a man that likes to provide for the people that I love, so providing for my wife has been a weird sort of dependence that I had to her as me being the giver and the provider. Like, let me provide for you. Let me take care of you. I'll have the answers. I'll make things better with us. I'll do this. I'll do that. Always that with my wife. And the idea of, so I don't have anyone to cook for? I don't have anyone to do laundry for. It's just me. And I'm sure a lot of people probably are listening to this, and from reading my stuff, it's just like looking at, what the hell? Like, you only have your clothes to wash, only have to buy food for you, only have to worry about paying for stuff for just you. You'll only use this on a certain amount of utilities, and wow, this is a good thing. You won't have a person to provide for except yourself, and you've never known a life like that where you didn't have anyone else as your responsibility. You will actually be by yourself. Enjoy this. So I know that's the other side of it, and that's a little bit scary. Because it is unknown. It has nothing to do with whether it's going to be good for me or bad for me or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's probably no different for heroin addicts or alcoholics. It's like, it's comfortable coming home and grabbing a drink, or if you're a really bad alcoholic, like, sipping off your flask around lunchtime. It's weird doing these things. So all I can say is I am affected, and I think that it is somewhat therapeutic, me going through this process, recording Divorce Diaries day after day. And we can go into today's events. Sorry for the rambling, but it's my damn diary, right? What I love is today went okay. She came up to me as I'm stretching in the morning, and said, see you, have a good day. And I don't have that longing. And I have to be honest, the less I long for her, the more she longs for me. And I hate that. I think I mentioned that in the last diary entry, where I went into a little bit of the more you, oh boy, extend yourself, show at least me in my situation, show my wife how much I love her, how much I care for her, how much I want to cater to her. I guess the more and more the respect she has for me erodes. And it just means nothing. It doesn't help. It doesn't make anything better. And she ultimately ends up pulling away more. But me just walking past, just being a man, slapping her on the butt, which I don't really do anymore. But she's coming up to me, slapping me on mine. Hey, you look nice today. And I'm going to try it tonight, actually. I'm going to go in when I'm done recording this, and I'm just going to say, you look really good today. I just wanted to let you know. Then I'm going to just roll over and see what happens. See if she just tries to jump on me. If so, it's just going to confirm a few things. It's just because she's already cheated, and because she's already been so bad with money, because she's so much larger now with her weight, all these things that just are making her just a lesser and lesser attractive person to me, which is probably leading to me pulling away more, which is probably fueling her desire for me because I want her less. I'm less interested, so therefore she's more interested. Very, very frustrating, but it is what it is. So, with all that said, we didn't talk much during the day because we don't anymore. We used to be the couple that was very much calling several times a day. Whatever medium we had, whether it's text message or Google Hangouts or whatever it is, phone's ringing, it's her. How are you? Oh, this is going on with me. That's going on with me. Just total focus on one another. And you know what? I will say that was when she was a lot happier. And I was a lot different. I won't say whether I was happy or I was sad. I don't think I reached that point of happy or sad. I was just scratching every itch she needed scratched. I was her time whore. A lot of people refer to it like that. You're the time whore. She wants to spend time talking to you. It's my day, and I'm doing this, and I'm studying, and I am not going to have this for lunch, and I think I'm going to go get this, but I don't know. I was talking to my sister earlier, and blah, 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 blah. And it's just all this shit, right? Shit that you don't give a fuck about, shit you don't want to hear, but you're doing it because you love her. And it's not an active thought. So if there are any ladies that are listening to this and you're thinking like, oh, my guy is only listening to me so we can fuck. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he is very interested in you and you are very interested in this thing. At least this is my situation. I was very interested in my wife and she was very interested in telling me something. So I was interested in what she was telling me. I literally cared about what she was telling me. So I listened. But now, and I guess before, in the early parts of a relationship, you are listening because maybe you are trying to get something from her, not in a weird, creepy way. It's just you're a man, and men and women have sexual vibes with each other, and you're trying to get to that eventual end that can come with men and women having relationships together. We're just, hey, could this lead to fucking? If she thinks it could lead to fucking, but she doesn't want it to lead to fucking, she'll start doing and saying things that make sure things stay in that friend boundary. But if she wants things to progress and he doesn't, then he might do things to make sure it stays in the friend boundary. So all those things could be true, and you're just gonna make things stay in a boundary. But me getting married, before I got married, it was always that hunt and pursuit toward sex. Because like I said in yesterday's recording, I'm talking to you so we can fuck. She's fucking me so we can talk. And it's just how it goes. We both want two totally different things from each other. And that's just how it goes. She's being or woman a lot of the time, is being the man's sexual object, and we're being the relationship object, the man. The relationship works on trust and communication, and the man's putting forward that communication, and for a man it works with sex, and he's, whatever. Both people I think both sexes know what the other one wants and just want to act like we don't, or we want to play some sort of game and use that thing that we know the other person wants to our advantage. Hold it over their head. Keep it out of reach. Don't give them what they want. I know he wants sex. I won't give it to him. Oh, she thinks she wants to talk to me. I'm going downstairs in the man cave. It's weird. And then we find ourselves like I'm finding myself right now just in a weird spot where, yeah, things could come back around. And to my wife and to most women, I don't believe for a minute that most women realize what they're doing to their husbands and their marriages when they cheat. It's a very, very, very big deal to a man. Right, wrong, or indifferent, the man looks at his wife as his. He possesses her. You are mine. And it's not toxic masculinity. It's nothing bad. It is just how the man is wired. He is wired like, oh, yes, I married you, so hey, there's a shootout. I'm going to jump in front of that bullet. Not because of my ego, but because I look at you as something I need to protect. So, right, wrong, or indifferent, I look at you like you're something that belongs to me. You are in my charge or in my care. So it's not really like, you're my toy, nobody else can play with you. Not really quite like that. Although you could say that, but it's more like, hey, wait, no, you're my toy. No one gets to play with you. Sort of like that movie Toy Story. It's like, oh, no, Woody, you belong to Alan? Was that the kid's name? Oh, geez, what the hell was his name? Maybe it was Alan. We'll go with Alan. And he's like, no, Woody's mine. And now Buzz is my toy. And he doesn't mind other people maybe picking up the toy, playing with the toy a little bit, playing with the toy in a certain way. But it's like, no, don't throw that toy down on the floor. Don't put that toy in that toy box. That's not where it goes. No, this toy is special. This toy needs to go over here. This toy goes on the dresser, not in the toy box with the rest of the toys. You're my wife. No. You don't dress like that. No. I'm not trying to control you. I'm just saying, whores dress like that, not you. You're my wife. But please don't do that. Oh, wait. Whoa. Women that don't have any self-respect raise their voice in public like that and have public arguments and do whatever they should do behind closed doors. They do that. You don't do that. Wait, I picked you. You're not supposed to do those things. So you get to a really weird place because it's not that you're trying to really possess your wife. And I'm not trying to possess my wife. She's not my property. But that whole sex thing, that belongs to me, right? That's mine. That's if I am the worst version of a man that I could be, and if I am an egotistical asshole that is possessive and wants his way and is controlling, let's say I am that. That's what men are. We have huge egos. We do what we want. We treat people however we want to treat them. This is mine, and we're babies. All that. Let's say all that's true. Okay. Well, you just took my most precious toy, and you showed me that I have no control over that toy. You showed me that that toy's not mine. You showed me that it belongs solely to you, and you decide who plays with it. And you showed me that you don't play with this. I give it to him to play with. And by the way, which is what my wife did, I'll let you know, like, hey, I don't care. This is not your toy, or worse, this is not your toy anymore. So I don't think that my wife for 1 minute understands that she gave me the best red pill truth anyone could have ever given me. She gave me a reality check that a lot of men have had to take. Because I will say, women will handle cheating differently, because women do not have the, let's say, the worst version of men. Women are not the egotistical assholes that are controlling and possessive like men can be. If that's what we are, women are not that. So that is why a woman can share a man with another woman. Women can, like, I mean, not share, like, if a woman is cheating on a guy and he knows that he's, yeah, I'm the guy at work, and I know she's got a husband, and I just kind of take her, and I do what I want with her, and we're both getting something out of the deal, and it's definitely more of an understood arrangement. Keep it moving. She goes back home, we keep it quiet, we fuck, do our thing. She goes home, keep it quiet, we fuck, do our thing. A man, him cheating, no. Very, very, very different. Because she is not possessive and egotistical. Even though women have great big egos and they're extremely possessive, the way that they compromise with their possession is a different thing. Really? Did she mean something? Like, what was it? Was it her titties or something? It's like, that is the dumbest fucking question in the world. It's just like, if you could understand and grasp the fact that I really, really wanted to have sex with you, you were really being a bitch and you really, really didn't have sex with me. If you just take it, shrink it down to that, oh, that's clearly why I'm having sex with this person. They are nice to me and they're willing to have sex with me. That's because we don't really require and want all that much, which I know for some women that might make it seem like, well, then I don't mean anything. No, it's not that you don't mean anything. It's that you were my horse that I was betting on. And I wanted to provide for you, like all of my dollars and cents, like my tangible assets, whatever I'm worth, I wanted to give it all to you. And I did. And in return, I'm hoping that you're feeling good most of the time based on what I'm doing. Your health stays up. You have the incentive to continue going to the gym. And you and I are just continuing to be intimate. And we're just spending all of our time together. Companionship itches are being stroked. Sexual itches are being stroked. Intimacy is being explored and growing. So we are just a happy couple. But a happy couple is a man that's getting sex. And a happy couple is a woman that's being heard and understood and respected. So that's what it is. And yes, extrapolate it down to its bare necessities, whatever. The man is able to have an affair, and it can be purely physical, and the woman's like, oh, well, I guess I'll take him back. And it's like, I know women are always the ones that take the man back. No, that might be true in a way, but women are wired different than men. And what my wife did to me, and what way more men than I would like to admit that I've talked to personally that have wanted to tell me about the affair that their wife had or long-term girlfriend had, or how they were ghosted or something like that. And then they come back and they're like, well, I was talking to this guy, but I mean, it didn't really mean anything. I mean, we only hooked up like 4 times and it wasn't really nothing. But it's like, but when you did that, you were really, really feeling something for him. You were really feeling something for him, for you to go all that way and do all that stuff with him while you're married. It's just a very difficult pill to swallow. After getting that reality check from my wife, it's just, I don't look at these good days the same anymore, because I know they could turn on a dime if I'm not managing our relationship as best I should in that moment. If I'm not managing her emotion the best way I should. The good day we had today with, a little bit of communication, some talking, a couple of kisses, a little bit of a touch on the arm, and playful banter, all those things. It's like, I could just slip right back into this with her, but then I'm just walking around acting like you didn't do what you did. Not that I'm holding a grudge, because I'm able to talk about it. I am years past the affair now, but my feelings haven't changed. My hurt that I have toward my wife, it hasn't changed. In fact, because so much time has gone by, it hasn't even gone away, really. It's just stayed there fermenting. And it's like when I was trying to talk to her about, like, do you understand what this, I don't care. You made me feel like, and it was just that callous, like, I don't care. I don't care how my affair made you feel because I was feeling something. And I think about Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, and I watch that thing and I'm looking at this guy's face, and it obviously, I mean, I don't know that Will Smith, at the fame that he had, I don't know for sure that Will Smith doesn't become a 50, 51-year-old man, whatever he is, and not have had his heart broken or some heartache in some way. I'm not really sure. I believe Will Smith definitely had something happen to him, but maybe he didn't learn the lesson when he was younger, or Will Smith did not think that would be a lesson he would learn a second time. Maybe he didn't think that he would find himself in the same situation, because he has been very famous for a very long time. So maybe he's always been on the sort of like the character he is in Bad Boys, Mike Lowry. He's the womanizer. They're all chasing him. It's so easy for him to get with women. He's so callous and cavalier that, boom, he does what he wants. And maybe he did some things behind Jada's back, and maybe Jada just, not that she wanted to get even, but she did feel lonely, alone, lost, whatever the fuck she said. And she wanted to do something with this guy, August. But either way, Will Smith invested. And I think that's when you realize you maybe were investing with Bernie Madoff and it was a Ponzi scheme. You realize your investment that was once worth $1 million is now worth $50. That was the look he sort of had, because it wasn't, Will Smith didn't have a look of, fuck, what the fuck, how did I let this happen? He wasn't crying. It's like he got all of his crying out. I have a deeper perspective on that, actually, because Jada was in a relationship. No one really knows all of the details of the relationship that she was in with Tupac Shakur, the deceased rapper. But Tupac was a very talented, probably didn't really act like he did in his music videos and his personal persona that he put forth, the thug life, all of this bad boy stuff. He was probably more of an artsy guy that had some very eclectic tastes that were varied. I don't know. He may have been closer to Wayne Brady than he was the Tupac that was portrayed. He maybe had a more well-rounded body of work that, if expressed fully, he would have maybe been more like a Wayne Brady. Who knows? And I love Wayne Brady, by the way. I can't give you too many more details because, man, I'm one of the biggest Wayne Brady fans. So anyway, she was in a relationship with him in their 20s. And Tupac was at least what he portrayed. He was a thug. He was a knucklehead. He was a gangbanger, or tried to be. And he was a rapper and in the industry, blah, blah, blah. Jada Pinkett Smith then lost him tragically when he was murdered. Were they a couple? I don't know. But were they a thing at some point, some sort of thing, even if it was just friends? Yes, they 100% were. So if someone that was very close to her was ripped from her, and Will Smith, as successful, good-looking, rich, tall, talented as Will Smith was, Will Smith may not have ever been the guy that she wanted. Let's say Will Smith knew that. Will Smith then will go to this woman and he will try to qualify, because we all do it when we are trying to sell ourselves as the one she should be with. We qualify. Oh, you want long walks? Yeah, I do long walks on the beach. Yeah, you want to go eating out? Oh, I can't really afford that place, but we're going to go there anyway, and I'll show you this good time, show you that bad good time, because, shadow of doubt, I just want you to know that I can do it. I can be what you need me to be, baby. I can be what you need me to be. Ooh. So, you do. You dance, monkey dance. That's what you do. So you can get it. And Will did it. He married her and all of that. So if he was trying to live up to something, being, I'm not the corny guy. I'm hard. I'm tough. I don't know. I don't get that from Will Smith. I get that he was just a confident guy that thought he was probably with his partner. And I'm not saying that he should have kept his guard up or brought it down. I don't think you should have a guard in a relationship, but as the man, you need to always maintain the frame of the relationship and where it's going. And if Will Smith got too comfortable and thought that, or forgot that Jada Pinkett Smith, which she put her line in the sand when she hyphenated, that's one thing. And I get it. There's a brand to you're Jada Pinkett. There's a brand that you need to maintain. And you went with Pinkett Smith. And upon that discussion, I think Will Smith, and I bet maybe now, looking back, he's like, that was a sign. Because somebody's got to give something up. Men traditionally don't change their last names, so Will is well within his right. Don't expect me to change my last name. Don't expect me to do that. I'm not going to change my name to Will Pinkett. That's not a thing. He was a massive star. He's Will fucking Smith, and he always will be, and he always should be. And you're Jada Pinkett. You should have remained Jada Pinkett. I'm sure now he probably wishes that he let you remain Jada Pinkett. And you could go on and you could do whatever you want. Eric Benet had to learn that with Halle Berry. We are married, and I'm not saying that you're my property, but you're mine. I promise. Have you to hold you, love and to cherish, and protect you. Death do us part, rich or poor, all that shit. And Halle Berry arched that back in Monsters Ball. Didn't tell Eric Benet, so rumors had it at the time before the screening. Or there's going to be a scene that's going to be sort of intense, but I just want to let you know. And boy, oh boy, was he embarrassed and hurt. And they had no kids. But Will and Jada, they had kids. And Will Smith was obviously blue-pilled, at least blue-pilled when it came to Jada. And he really thought she wouldn't do anything like that. And I think that meme that's going around and all of that, I feel for Will Smith because you can just tell he's like, fuck. I can't tell if he was more mad at Jada for disappointing him or mad at him that he had expectations. Jada's better than that. Jada's not like the rest of these. Now, I know she's a little sassy, and, looking back, it was just that she was real confident, she was still definitely trying to build her brand. She was in Set It Off, and she's like doing her rap, hard rock grunge thing, and she is her brand, and she's got a brand she's got to hold on to, and I know the business. So yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith, but she took the last name, and she showed respect. She did that. She didn't just stay on and stay straight up Jada. She didn't do that. She took Pinkett Smith. All right, she put me on there so everybody knows. I don't know, Will. I don't know if that was a little bit of clout chasing. Let everybody know I'm Will Smith's wife. But don't you forget, I'm Jada Pinkett. And I totally get it. She could say that. She could feel that. She could think that. She could do that. But somebody's got to be the number two. Someone has to be the follower. Someone has to sacrifice. I'm not saying it had to be Jada. But how things have shaken out and how Will Smith has been publicly humiliated behind what Jada Pinkett Smith did, and how open and free the children have been. Willow had her issues. I don't need to put that in my damn diary. Jaden definitely had his issues. I mean, coming out bi and drug use and all this. There's a lot of shit, and I don't know how much Will wanted that in his life. I don't know how much I know me as a father, how much I tried to manage my children, in my perspective on where I wanted to take them was usually derailed by my wife's desire for where she wanted to take them. That's too harsh. That's too cruel. Let them express themselves. Let them speak up. Let's as they continue to slam into walls. And I'm just like, holy shit. Why does my wife have any control over any of this? She is fucking shit up. But it's like, oh shit, if I can't tell you that because you're my partner. Those vows we took, I mean, we're both two people with brains, good brains. And we both want the best for our kids. There's no way that we're going to be at odds with what's best for them because we're both very smart. Me, I'm thinking I'm a fucking narcissist because I would never pick a woman or wife that would totally undermine the things that I wanted to do for my kids or what I thought was best. Of course, I'm going to pick someone that feels like, of course, I'm going to pick someone that is in line with me. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Nope. I was an idiot just like Will Smith. I thought that my wife would be on the same page with me. I thought my wife, because women's sex drives go down and they don't, like, oh my gosh, she can't even handle satisfying my meager sex appetite. She wouldn't cheat on me and just, go back to fucking some guy in the backseat of a car and giving blowjobs and, like, still sort of fuck me sometimes. Like, no, she doesn't have the energy for that. She can barely stay up after we watch an episode of Jeopardy after dinner. There's no fucking way. I'm sure a lot of us men have been there. And then you find out that your wife, she has energy and she's got a lot of it. And she has no problem spending it on those that she wants to spend it on. We all just needed the reality check that she didn't care about you. Maybe just at that time, but like I said, there's been so many years since my wife's affair, but it's now tattooed in my brain that I am optional to my wife. Knowing that you're optional to someone is one thing. But when they've exercised that option, if you know anything about selling stocks, oh man, if they've exercised that put option or sell, whatever the hell it's called, if they've actually exercised the option on you and you're like, no, I'm the stock you hold. Like, you may as well look at me as a mutual fund, baby. Like, hey, you buy and hold. I'm a bond. Buy and hold. I'm not an investment you ever sell. And she fucking sold you. My wife fucking sold me, Jada. She sold Will. And it's like, whoa. The reality check you get, it's just too immense at this point. It's too immense. It's too clear. The reality check you get. So, you know now that you are an option that could be sold. So now you look at your relationship differently. You don't look at the relationship as you are a bond. She would never sell you. No. And when you're the one that was under the guise of you, she was your possession in a way. And it shows you that, no, I have legs and I can walk around. Okay, I get it. Some people that may be listening to this entry, oh, see, that was your problem. You thought you could control her. I get it. I get what you're saying and I get why you would say that. But I didn't think that I could control her. I thought that the fence we built around our yard was a fence that I wanted to stay in with her and she wanted to stay in with me. But now I know the fence we built, she built a different gate, a separate gate. And she, when she wants, goes out, looks back, makes sure I'm not looking, opens the gate, runs out, does what she wants and comes back. Well, that's no different than what a man would do. But it's different. A man is sort of like a dog. You know where he's going and you know that he's coming back and you know that whatever he did out there, it doesn't matter as much. I'm not saying that he's better. Oh, men cheating is better than women cheating. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we process emotions and acts differently. And me knowing that, oh, my wife will do whatever she wants, regardless of who it hurts, it's different. The good dog still will never bite you. But my wife being a cat, because I do view women more like cats, the cat will scratch you. You won't see it coming. You won't understand it. You're like, why did you scratch me? Well, because I felt this way. I didn't want you, you were petting me and I didn't want to be pet. Well, why didn't you just say you didn't want to be pet? Why did you come? I didn't want you to pet me that way. What the fuck? Well, the dog, he goes out, knocks over some trash cans. He comes back. He's like, but this is where I eat. I mean, I had a snack while I was out, but, you know, this is where I eat. This is where I want to be. This is where I love. That's why I come back home the same fucking time every night. I love it. So that's the difference between men and women. And that is the difference between what we will do when it's cheating and not. How we respect each other and how we don't. And just like Will Smith, I know, and based on what my wife said, his wife called it an entanglement. You were fucking a 23-year-old rapper, probably in the house that Will Smith purchased. Because he said, oh, he came to live with you. Well, Jada, she had money. What the fuck do you think with her C-list celebrity? Do you actually think they were living in a house that Jada Pinkett Smith could fucking afford on her own? Fuck no. They were in a house that Will Smith could afford, and he's just like, so you fucked this little motherfucker in my fucking, okay. And now I'm gonna sit here on this fucking red table talking because you did all this shit, and now you got my fucking daughter on here, pretty much telling her it's okay to slut out, it's okay to fucking, like, not even care about your pops, and your mother, and she's over there because I'll support my daughter no matter what. I support my daughter no matter what. I know she was having an affair with that rapper boy in the house with your kids. It's like, wow. Will Smith was betrayed on so many fronts. I don't know how much he might have helped her mom out, those kids, his career, all while he's juggling this shit. And yeah, really, real talk, I don't give a fuck if Will Smith fuck Margot Robbie. I don't give a fuck. Because looking back now, if this is what the fuck this dude was going through, and Margot Robbie is just going to be a nice person that was empathetic and understood what the fuck he was going through, oh, for goodness sakes. Especially if they weren't married, or if Margot was not married to her husband or whatever. If they fucked, what the fuck else is supposed to happen? Like all this riot and shit. Like all this rioting, and they acting like it's protesting. And I'm just like, how many motherfuckers do you think are going to let their business be burned down before they start acting crazy in return? How much more do you think a person will take before they do something different or drastic or rash? It's not going to take long. And it's like, okay, because Will Smith even said that shit. He even high-fived Jada at the end of that bullshit interview, and he's just like, bad marriage for life, or whatever bullshit he said. But I'm like, bro. He said something to her like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get you back. And she was like, I suspect you already have. It's like, that's when it was sort of confirmed for me that Will Smith wasn't fully ready to maybe let go of the little bit of bitch that's in him, because he even made it a little bit public. Like, first off, he went on there. That was a bitch move. Second, he said, like, you know, I'll get you a girl. Shit, I'm gonna let you know, motherfucker. Like, yeah, you can't. Fuck you, Jada. It's like he wanted her to know that, when I think if he was a little bit more secure in himself, he would have just walked away on that. Said, you know, irreconcilable differences, but I ain't about to be caught out here like some bitch. And let everybody know. And every time I say bitch, I don't think Will Smith's a bitch at all. I think Will Smith's processing. I think he's trying to get through it. I think he's doing what most good men do when they find themselves in this situation. And I think he's still trying to sort it out. And I think he's a very logical, pragmatic guy. And he seems very different from when things were initially happening to now, but he seems very pragmatic, and he was likely just trying to sort it all out and make some sort of pragmatic sense of what was actually happening, because holy crap, she he didn't expect it. He didn't see it coming. He didn't expect her to handle it like this. He didn't expect her to be so cavalier. He didn't expect her to expose so many people to her mistakes. And he didn't expect her to defend it either. All of the things I did not expect my wife to do, which is why as I record these over and over, I continue to bring up the affair that is years old, because she doesn't get it. She never fully acknowledged. She may have acknowledged once, yeah, I did it and I shouldn't have, and it was just like a throwaway apology. Every apology was throwaway, and it just wasn't, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I fucked up. I know I have almost burned the bridge of trust, but I don't care if I have to put the embers back together as best I can for our marriage to be successful. I don't care if it takes me till the end of time to make this better. I'm willing. Nah, it's not what it is. There's no extreme accountability there. So what the fuck am I married for? I want a divorce. Still.
Wow. That was the Divorce Diaries podcast. The Daily Saga will continue tomorrow. The full season's episodes are on Patreon now. Subscribe for early access. Click the Patreon link in the description. Hopefully, these entries help our anonymous recorder as a form of his own personal therapy. That's his hope and his intention. Will these recordings of life's curveballs lead this family to the best resolution in the end? We'll keep listening. New episodes are released daily on all podcast players, but all episodes are available on Patreon at Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Until next time.